sticking with it. So we had a good time. My parents are in town, and we're running around, going to flag football, volleyball, soccer, the whole thing. So what's going on?
David, Lions played Seattle as really, and Seahawks did a fairly good job in terms of scoring.
Yeah.
Does it help you to see a similar offense against this defense? It obviously gives them a look at what close to what you'll have as well. But is
Yeah.
there a benefit in seeing how they handled that offense already this year?
Oh yeah, and we played them last year too in Detroit. So 2 games right there, really valuable stuff for us. Um, and it, like even on a micro level, just the techniques of how they play, the different shades that they play on the defensive front, some of the secondary players and how they stack up against similar bodies. DK and Mike are bigger guys. Chris is a bigger guy, so they can kind of see some of those things. Of course, they have a few new players, but yeah, it's really helpful. And then, honestly, just like crossing over, there's some similarities with Detroit's offense. I really regard them highly and have kind of followed their progress over the last 3 years, just the development of their offense, the run game, the play actions, the attitude. It's really a style that I would love to look like that eventually as we put things together, and really get polished. This is a team that's in their 3rd year looking pretty polished. So that helps too, for our defense, kind of looking at some of the things they might see similarly to our attack on offense.
Yeah.
Dave, you mentioned the bye week, and there's a lot of self scouting that goes on.
Yeah.
Just anything watching the tape that points out to you, whether it's things you like, maybe things you're not a huge fan of that you didn't notice at first glance.
I really don't want to share a lot of that, as far as self scout. But some of the general things I will say is just I love the variety of things we have and where we're headed. I think that's also a challenge for us. The styles of runs, we talk about this a lot with our running backs, kind of understanding we have a bunch of different styles. When you're a certain run game is goes a certain way, if you're a wide zone team or you're a gap scheme team and that's all you do, you get better. Muscle memory happens faster, so there's a little more challenge. And my thought process long term is that we have a product that's so that there's so much variety that we can attack different fronts different ways and be able to execute them all very well. So, and we're not there yet. We have a long ways to go with those things. But that's kind of some of the things, and honestly, just like really appreciating through 4 games the job that these guys have done. Our guys, our offensive players, Baker, the whole group, the offensive line, of finding a way to win games. Even if it's not going all smoothly, I think that's league wide. That's pretty similar, but just finding a way to win in different situations was encouraging.
A little different this last game where some quick throw.
A lot of things I liked about that. One, the main part that I liked about that, and to be honest, the biggest reason why I even wanted to show this press conference was because him saying, "I'm not going to get into that as far as what our weakness is right now, what do we need to get better at, stuff like that." I am glad that he is starting to do that because I am tired of these reporters asking and probing, what are we doing wrong? What can we get better at? What are we struggling? It's like, why are we giving material out to the opponent? Like, oh, what are they good at? Forget the tape. Let's go listen to their press conference. Oh, he says they're not good at doing this and they're not good at doing that, and they need to get better at this, and the game plan is that. Can we stop telling people what our game plan is and what our weakness is and what our strength is? So I'm glad that he finally has said, I'm not going to get into that. And I hope he continues to, I'm not going to say that. And it's funny because a lot of the press conference, like if you listen to all the interviews and all the press conferences that they did today or yesterday, it's the same reporter that keeps asking about weaknesses and stuff like that. Like if he's trying to build tape for the Lions or something. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
Almost like extended handoffs, like you would say.
Yeah.
But as far as the running game, did you see progress there? And
Oh, yeah.
Do you see these guys, and Rashad in particular, is that big game coming? You need long runs,
Yeah.
right, to have a couple of those to make
Yeah.
the averages much better. But
Yeah, you'd love to. And again, I can't. I know, like, one thing I shared with our guys, with our group, um, which I don't mind sharing with all of you, is just um, there's going to be a game, and in Seattle, it was different groups over different years, but there's going to be a game that kind of is like a statement game where it all comes together. The run game's hitting, the actions are there. Not that you're perfect, um, the known pass situations are crisp. The red zone passes are on time. All those things kind of, there's a game that happens, and that's what we're striving for, is for that game to come together for us. But at the same time, knowing while we're figuring things out, do we have enough offense to gain yards and make first downs? And the Saints game was just one of those things. Like, what are they giving us that we can take advantage of to just get a new set of downs, so we can get a few more runs, so that we can take some shots and those things like that. So yeah, trying harder for first downs.
In the beginning, he kind of, I don't want to say laughed, but I feel like in the beginning he kind of realized, like the whole, when the reporters were getting mad at Byron for saying analytics is not football and laughing whenever they brought up analytics and stuff like that. This is the first sign of Dave understanding these guys actually think they know what they're talking about when it comes to football. That was the first sign of Dave Canellis understanding, these guys think they know what these reporters think they know what's important. They think they know what makes a good football team. They think they know what makes a good offense. Like, they don't know. The simple fact that he said you need to have long runs to get the average up. Who cares? Who cares about the average going up? Who cares? As long as we make the runs that we have to make the passes that we have to make to win, to get the touchdowns that we have to make to win the game, that's all that matters. It don't matter how it looks. It don't matter what the number looks like. None of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters. What matters is winning the game, whether it's through the air, whether it's through the ground. How much through the ground? Enough to make us win the game, or enough to make us be able to throw the ball for us to win the game. That was the first, I think that's the first moment where Dave Canella said, that's funny. That was what that was. That's funny. We need big yards to get our average up. Like, we would like, big runs and averages. Obviously that's what he said. We would like that, but we're working on doing what we got to do. We're working on getting better, and it'll come. Whether it comes at the end where now we're getting bigger runs, but all year, the average has been low, and now that we're getting bigger runs at the end of the year, it doesn't even help that much because our average was so low for the most of the year. Who cares? The point is we got better at the end of the year, right when we need it, right? So that's how I
You
look at
the
that.
Lions
He
on
finally
defense,
just,
their front
okay.
seven.
Yeah.
This may be too simplistic, but they just try to out-tough you at that point of attack.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, discipline. So everybody's where they're supposed to be. And Coach Glenn's done a great job of just really making sure they're gap sound, they're sound in their assignments, and then just run like hell, run to the ball. And I think when you look at their stats over the last couple of years, the explosive runs, there's just not a lot against these guys because it's group tackling. So even if a guy takes a shot and misses, there's two more guys running full speed to pick it up and finish the assist really quickly. So I think those things hand in hand, the discipline and then the effort. Absolutely. This is a group that really there's one guy to talk about, in Hutchinson, but 54 is pretty fantastic inside. And then the whole group in general, they play so well together, and they all play tough, and they never quit. So another great challenge for us up front.
Is your attention on Hutchinson? How much do you have to know all the time where he's lining
Yes.
up, what he's doing?
Yeah, every play. Hutchinson, where's he at? Is he on the right? Did he flip him over for a series? Just being conscious of that. whether it's the run game or the pass game.
How much growth have you seen with the offensive line? Obviously, there were so many new
Yeah.
pieces in different spots. I think Jason Light talked about, Luke's development from a year ago playing
Yeah.
guard now to tackle.
Yeah, ton of development. I mean, and then of course, Tristan's played ball a lot, but even just his level of comfort on the left side is huge. Really, really Filer's the guy who's, kind of played in a similar spot, and he really has brought like a kind of an experienced calm to the group where he's never really out of his frame. Everything's controlled. He uses his hands with power. And I think that's something that Cody can kind of see and go, man, like here he is, this fantastic athlete. He wants to be an athlete all the time. Sometimes you just need to be controlled and have, detailed hand placement and footwork. And of course, Hainsey just kind of working through having a veteran on one side, a rookie on the other, him just being able to like bring the whole thing together. They've been working through those challenges. And I've seen a lot of progress there. You already talked about Luke, so I don't have to. But again, it's still, we know what to do, but it's mastering the different run types, mastering the actions and how the defensive line reacts to things. That's where we need to get to. And not even up front, and I keep saying it about the whole group, that's where we're heading, but we're not quite there.
Devin Tompkins is on the smaller side as a receiver, but he plays big, whether it's getting after the football, whether it's taking on a would-be tacklers. Is that a fair assessment of him?
Yeah, just lightning in a bottle, brings juice. And I shared it with you guys. The ball finds energy. So when he screams across the field, it grabs the eyes of the quarterback. So, and that's, you don't have to be that fast and quick. Any size, any speed, when you break decisively, the quarterback sees you and then you find the ball. So he's doing a great job with that.
Why do you think you guys have been so good in the second half? A little bit of a slower
Yeah.
start in the beginning. Is it because it's still everybody's kind of new and a new offense, or?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say when you know exactly what you're doing and why, you come out and it's just like the first play is like the 70th play, and the execution's at a high level. There's no indecision up front with the quarterback, with the backs, everything. We're learning each other right now. So Baker's still learning how to throw to Mike, Chris, all the other young guys, so that whole component, I think, is a part of it, where we'd love to just come out and, just start ripping it from the first quarter on. I love the fact that our guys kind of regroup, see what's happening. We talk really quick in the half, we don't make a big deal out about just some micro adjustments. And then we kind of move forward, and we're the type of offense from a character standpoint that is built to finish. High character guys that are tough-minded, guys that are great teammates. So nobody's flying off the handle at each other throughout a game. They just stay together and then we finish, and so I love that about our group.
What do you say about Baker's decision making, whether it's, making the right throws,
Yeah.
playing relatively turnover free and finding the right guy?
Yeah, fantastic, right? Playing to win the situation while we're learning stuff, playing to win the game, win the situation. Where are we on the field? And he's done a fantastic job of that outside of a few, decisions. But that's the part that like kind of we take for granted, but he's playing really good football as a quarterback in this league. So looking league wide. So we're fortunate to have him here, for our group.
Coach, the Lions defense, a direct relationship and a direct reflection of Dan Campbell. I mean, he just strikes you as a tough guy you want to fight for.
Well, it's two of them because Aaron Glenn, he's a competitor. You see him on the sideline. He's animated. He's fired up. If they give up something silly that they shouldn't have, he's flying off. So I think it's a combination of both guys. I don't feel like Coach Campbell feels like he has to be over there telling those guys what to do when they have a coordinator like Aaron Glenn, who's really leading the charge and demanding a lot out of that group. Good. All right. Thank you all.
All right, let's get to
Smith shortens the time from harvest.
Baker. Let's get to Baker because, again, I really wanted to talk about this.
Talk with Todd, ask him, you know, what makes this a good fit for you? And it's kind of similar to what you kind of did at Oklahoma. Is that, when did you know, like at one point where you hear that it kind of clicked to you, like this is going to be a really good fit?
I love all this
Um,
orange, man.
Just honestly watching how they were over the
The
years,
white and the
knowing Coach Bowles and the
creamsicle
interactions I had with
just
him
looks
coming out
beautiful
of
with
draft,
that's a dope
um,
shirt right
and just
there.
knowing the organization now, just knowing what the
And
standard
Dave's
is, the culture, all the things
Dave's
that
sweater
it takes
was
a lot
dope
of hard
too.
work to have that groundwork laid. And just coming in here, and they've always said from the beginning, just be myself and be the best version. And that's what, when you allow people to be confident in that and believe that's more than enough to have success, good things will happen. And so they've been obviously really welcoming since the beginning.
Speaking of Oklahoma, it looked like you had one heck of a buy and
Nice.
going there and the picker and everything. How was that?
Is he sick?
Clear your head, rejuvenate you? coming back?
Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean, if you're a fan of football, College Game Day is something you watch every Saturday.
I haven't noticed, but
Just
he
one of those
looks
things
like
that you
he's
just get up
sick.
every
His
Saturday and
ears
watch
are
as a
red,
kid. And
his
so,
nose is
being
red,
able
his
to get up
lips are
there
red.
and make the picture of those guys, the dream come true for me. And it was so much fun getting to go back and be around the guys. And
They said
obviously,
Shaq is home
nothing like that OU
sick.
Texas game in the Cotton Bowl.
I hope
So
there's not a
obviously a good outcome that always
sickness
helps.
going
But
through
yeah,
the
it was
locker
awesome.
room.
We've had a lot of success in the second half. You lead the NFL right now in completion percentage.
Maybe
What
that's
is it about the
sunburn.
second half games on the line that maybe, I don't know if the focus sharpens or it's game time comes
Yeah.
out for you?
In this league, you have to be able to adjust, and I think just as a team as a whole, we've done a good job of adjusting. You go into halftime, you have your script, you have your game plan ready to go, but the team can play you differently than you expect. So you have to be able to adjust, make adjustments at halftime, communicate with the receivers on different looks, what we're going to get to, and just be on the same page. So for us, it's doing the little things right and just staying on the same page when it comes to getting in the second half.
I know with the ground game, there's still some work to be done there, but it seemed like Rashad White did some of the dirty work against the Saints that maybe kind of went unnoticed. Just what have you seen from him? What have you learned about him as a teammate?
He's got no ego to him. I think, yeah, obviously he wants to have more success, but that time will come. So we're just continuing to press the issue that we have to be better in the run game. It's for us to have success down the road here. We have to have that. But he's patient. And I think just one of those underrated plays for him was getting him out in space, throwing that ball to him. And he made a couple guys miss down the goal line. And so it's just, he's a special player with the ball in his hands. So we have to continue to find ways to do that as we get the run game going.
In New Orleans, you guys had 26 points on offense, which was a season high for you so far. Do you feel like
Agreed, amazement.
Look at the Lions are just averaging under 30 points per game. If this game got into a shootout, has the offense improved enough and evolved enough to where you feel like you guys could go toe to toe and win a shootout game at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to compare us to their offense, but just for us as a whole, that was a game that, we had talked about scoring in the red zone and improving in that aspect. But just for us, it's continuing to do all the little things right, which is why we haven't had the best offensive game yet. And so continually improve as the year goes on. And so this is one of those games that we can't look at their score. We just have to continue to do our job and put up the most points possible. And they play with so much effort. So we have to match that effort and then outdo it, honestly, and just do our best to execute as well.
There's only so much trust that can be built.
I gotta say this. Now I got 2 live streams going on. One of them I don't think is showing anymore because I showed those highlights and it took the stream down. And the other one, everyone's is showing on that one too. So I got people on both live streams, but nonetheless, let me say this. This by far is my favorite press conference by Baker. By far. There is no, the very first press conference we had with Baker, right? When we signed him, and the very first one he came on here, I was very skeptical. I was very like, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, to be honest. I felt like it was all staged. Like he came out here with all the PR answers, and a lot of his press conferences is like that. This press conference felt so real. It felt so honest. It felt so no showboating. No, what do I think they want to hear? no agenda. Baker right now in this press conference, and we're going to hear more of it, but Baker right now in this press conference sounds like a guy that no longer has an agenda. He's no longer trying to prove. And when I say agenda, right, like, you think negative, but let's be honest, like he wanted to prove the league wrong. He wanted to prove the Browns wrong. He wanted to prove, that they can suck it, and that he was hurt his last year, and that, the Panthers were a bad, like he had a chip on his shoulder. We have a chip on our shoulder. We want to prove that we're still good without Brady. This Baker that I'm hearing, and I don't know if maybe because he's sick, because he does look like he's sick or something. So I don't know if maybe he's sick and he doesn't have the energy or something. But this Baker sounds is not just the energy he's giving, but his answers. It doesn't sound like a Baker that has a motive anymore. That doesn't have. It sounds like a Baker that's like, you know what? Let's see what we can do. Like, it sounds like a Baker that's bought in. It sounds like a Baker that has bought in to this team and to this offense. Now, you're probably thinking, of course he bought in. Blah. No. Before, it felt like I'm Baker and I got these wide receivers that can, and I think I could look good with this team. I came to this team because they know how to win. And I want to come to a team that knows how to win so we can go out there and win. This doesn't seem like that Baker no more. Now it seems, and that wasn't, I'm not saying that was bad when he said that, but this doesn't seem like the same Baker. This Baker seems, now that we're hearing this Baker in week 6, this Baker now seems like I understand who we are as a team, and I'm interested now. I'm interested to see what we look like. I bought into the system. I finally get what we're trying to do, what Dave Canellis is trying to do with this offense, and I'm interested. And I bought in, and I know what my job is. It feels like Baker found his role. Like he understands his role now. Before it was, I'm the quarterback trying to look good with this offense. Now it seems like, hey, I'm the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I know what my job is, and I got to do better at my job. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they're going to do what they're going to do, and we're going to make our connection, but I got to do my job, and I got to do better in the role of whatever my role is in this offense. I got to do better. And it just seems like he's bought in now. It seems like he's part of the team now. And I'm not saying because he's a captain or nothing like that. It just seems, I don't know how to explain it. It just seems different. It doesn't have the same type of, like, me plus you guys, we could be good. It's not that no more. Now it's just us and me in this offense. Let's see what we can do. Like, he understands his limitation. He understands what he can and can't do. He understands the limitation of the offense in general and what we're trying to do and trying to accomplish. And he's like, I get it. And I'm not trying to, hey, it's not no more. I feel like I don't have to worry about him going out there now and trying to prove to the world. Remember, I said that against the Eagles. I'm nervous that he might be like, prime time, let me show everybody that they were wrong. I feel like we don't have to worry about that now. I feel like now he's like bought into now where when he goes out there and plays, it's like, I know my job. I know my job. I don't care if I got to check the ball 20 million times. I don't care what my numbers look like. I don't care. It's not that. My role is to make this offense do good, and whatever that takes, it is what it is. Let's see where this goes. That's where I'm feeling from him. Like, I'm not going to lie. It's my favorite press conference.
Right, but when you're out there and you're able in game, when Mike Evans goes out and you're able to connect with Devin Tompkins on a touchdown and Kate Otten, and I know that Ray Palmer's been an asset for you guys already, but just Chris Godwin to be able to have a game, 100-yard game with him, just what can that do for kind of the growth of this offense? And I don't know, did you feel the kind of the trust with those guys?
Oh, absolutely. And that comes from just the reps early on in camp. You know, it's it's a blessing to be able to, to practice here in the heat where you have to rotate guys in and everybody's getting reps. And so those guys have seen a lot of looks, but for them to translate it onto the field on a game day was extremely important for us. And so they played really well, and their roles will continue to grow as this offense goes. It's not, we design plays to get it into our best players' hands, but at the same time, we don't force the issue. The ball is going to go where the defense dictates it. And so we're just calling the plays, and Dave trusts me to go through my reads and distribute how it needs to be.
Baker, looking at the matchup against the Lions defense, they have a bit of a game record.
I love
with
it.
Hutchinson.
I love
How
it.
important is it going to be to stop him or at least limit him on something?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he can ruin your day. He has that potential, and he's capable of that. So just we got to know where he is. They move him around quite a bit. They do a good job of that. But the thing that jumps out on tape, I know everybody talks about it, is his effort. He never quits. He never stops on a play. So even if you have him blocked for a second, he's going to find a way to break free. So anytime stepping up in the pocket or moving around, he's going to be chasing. There's going to be pursuit. So gotta have eyes on him at all times.
So you look at
Come on. Shut it.
in his brief NFL career, he's really good at kind of snipping at those screen passes, getting his hands up there. Is that something you have to be extra cognizant of?
Yeah, I mean, there's plays that you want to stray away from when it comes to guys like that, but he's just a good
Real
athlete.
OGS to you?
He gets paid a lot of money to make plays like that. That's why he's so talented. He got chosen that high. So he's a good player. So like I said, got to have eyes on him.
Baker, you were named captain today, and it wasn't a vote that was taken before the season. We're into it now a little bit. What does that mean to you personally, and just can you speak to some of the guys that are also captains with you?
Yeah, it's truly an honor because you're voted by your peers on the team, and it's the highest level of respect you can have. I'll say that we have a ton of good leaders. It doesn't change anybody's leadership roles, even if you don't have a C on your chest. I know it's cliche to say, but we have a great team. We have a lot of good leaders, and that's why we're going to have success as the year goes on, because we're able to lean on different guys. But there's guys that have been here for a long time that are captains. There's some new faces in there as well, but it takes all of us to contribute and steer the ship the right way.
You're improvising out there, like things are unscripted. Like that Devin Tompkins touchdown. I mean, that took like 7 seconds for that thing to develop. But normally you don't have that kind of time. Just what can you say about the O-line, the guys around you that are keeping you clean to be able to make that stuff happen? Yeah,
O-line on that play is great. Obviously protecting for as long as they can. They had a little bit of man coverage, but a lot of droppers in between. They almost triple covered Chris, and then Trey was going to have a touchdown coming across, and there was collision in the end zone as well. And then just that point, trying to make a play. I mean, looking back on the film, probably could have just stopped in the middle and thrown it to Rashad when he was standing by himself. But make things look a little bit harder, and they're a little bit more fun. But no, O-line plays great, and then I think that just shows. We worked on scramble drill. We talked about staying alive. There's going to be movement, and so DT did a good job just making a great play on that one too.
Around such a small receiver who plays so big.
No.
Stage of your career.
Tutu Atwell will probably say he does, but no, he's I love him, but no. DT, I mean, you see when he gets the ball in his hands, he never shies away from contact. He plays very big. He's so explosive, just a talented guy that his role is going to continue to get bigger.
You've been such a competitor. You will escape the pocket. You will extend plays, and occasionally the game where first down's on the line, you'll lower your shoulder. We've seen you do it. But are the coaches in your ear at all about, hey, Baker, we need you for 17, and then some, like, just try to go down and go out of bounds? Like, I know it's in the moment, but.
Yeah. Dave mentioned one time after the Minnesota game, there was an unnecessary hit I took right on the sideline. But, it's just about being smart. I know that. I've been there. We're taking unnecessary hits and putting yourself in harm's way. But, like you mentioned, when the game's on the line, you got to do what you got to do.
Is that your game, though? You like moving in and out of the pocket to kind of create things?
I mean, obviously I want to play on time. You have your plays designed, you practice it, you get them on time and out there on the practice field, but things happen in a game. And so your guys have to stay alive. O-line's got to block forever and if they have to. And you just got to make it work somehow. It never goes perfectly as scripted on the practice plan to the game field. So you have to find ways to make it work.
When people mention the better quarterbacks in the league, you don't hear Jared Goff's name a lot in that group. What's your respect level for Goff?
Jared's a stud. Coming from somebody that needed a fresh start as well. Jared's a stud. I think he's playing really well. I think you can tell his leadership and all the things why he got chosen that high. He's truly showing that now. And so, not every fit's perfect. And for him, I think his confidence continuing to grow, and he's got all the tools you want. tall guy, got a good arm, really, really smart. And so he's able to make plays, and he's, the sneaky thing about his game is his play action, all his fakes and stuff. He's really, really good at that. He's almost got it down to a science. So I love his game. He's a good guy too.
Tristan Wirfs was saying you like to trash talk a lot, but he always, after the play's over, he said it's his job to look for you to get you out of that mess the whole time.
He's my handler. Is that what he said? Self-proclaimed handler.
I remember how he does it because he used to do that with Mike.
Yeah, he's definitely got his money's worth now, because sometimes it's Luke. It's definitely Luke a lot more than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, there's definitely the team aspect. We're all looking out for each other.
Like a couple more, please. The first 4 games. What do you think?
Couple
looking
more,
on
please.
film now, having the bye week, what do you think personally you've improved with the most?
Taking the easy throws, easy completions early on, getting some of our skill guys going. It's just when we started slow in the past couple games, you look at it, and then we've had a couple completions in a row to get the offense rolling. And so I think early on, trying to do that more and more, and just taking what's there. And because if we stay ahead of the chains early on in the game, we get into a rhythm. Dave's able to call the plays he wants to, and good things happen.
Your thoughts on the Cravesville color scheme?
Yes.
It's a good look on
Yeah,
it.
thank you. I don't know about a couple of our redheads on the team, but I'll take it. Good. Thanks, guys.
So again, I don't really, it's hard to explain, but I definitely, again, listen, I said earlier, right, when we were live streaming, I said I would love to have Kirk Cousins next year. Listen, I'm not this Baker guy where I'm like, yeah, that's the future of our quarterback, and of the franchise, and this and this and that. I'm not there yet. I'm not. I gotta be honest. I'm not there yet, right? But I'm not gonna sit here and act like he can't win me over. He has to win me over on the field. There's a few things that I still got to see from him. He has to win me over on the field. But I will say this. Baker, the man, Baker Mayfield, the guy in the locker room, was a problem for me as well. And I gotta admit, at this point, that problem is gone. Like, I don't think I have a problem with Baker as the man, or Baker in the locker, the player that's inside that locker room. I don't think I have a problem with him anymore. Like, he definitely does seem much more mature. He seems a lot more humble. Again, this whole time he seemed like he was here because he had a chip on his shoulder, and he knew that there's some talented pieces on this team. I don't know if he knew about the defense. I just know that he knew about Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and he knew I can come over here and I could probably ball out. I could probably throw some stuff up there to Mike Evans and look good. I don't know if he knew exactly what we had defensively or as a team, but I think he was like, man, if I had Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, man, I'll put up some numbers. And maybe he just came for that, because he had a chip on his shoulder when he was here this whole time. Even week 1, week 2, it still seemed like he had a chip on his shoulder, and he wanted to show the world, hey, I can be that guy. I can be that guy. I can be the quarterback that deserves the Progressive commercials or Allstate or whatever it was. I'm still that guy. And now it doesn't seem like that. Now it seems like that don't matter to him. Like he's not trying to be that guy now. Like, now it just seems like, you know what? I'm just going to do my job and be the quarterback that this team needs me to be. Now it seems like he's just like, you know what? If I want this, like maybe he didn't want this to be his home. Everyone keeps talking about, hey, maybe Baker found a home here. Maybe Baker found a home here. Maybe Baker didn't even come here thinking that this could be my new home. Maybe he just thought, hey, this could be my stopgap where I could look good and then go out to free agency and, cash out. And now he might be thinking like, why not here? I like the atmosphere. I love the locker room. I love the guys. I've said this many times. This locker room is special. This locker room since Gerald McCoy has been way different than any other locker room in the NFL, plain and simple. A lot of free agents that used to come way back then and after Gerald McCoy all the time. Free agents always came to us and always said, the locker room's different. The locker room here, the locker room vibe here is different. It's definitely like everybody mingles with each other. It's not just units and groups. Everybody mingles close with each other. Everybody hangs out. It's a different locker room here. So maybe he's like, you know what? Why not? I kind of do like this team. And you know what? Not only physically does this team fit me, like my weapons, and I got a good O-line here, and I got a freaking heck of a defense that's backing me up. But the attitude here, like Mike kind of has a chip, you know, these guys have a chip on the, like, I just fit here. Like, I don't know. I kind of like it here. And maybe he's just bought into, you know what? Like Mike Evans, everyone talks about Mike Evans and they say this guy's a Hall of Famer. Easy. You ask people around the league about Chris Godwin, around the league, not the media, not fan bases, but you ask the players about Chris Godwin around the league, they'll tell you that's a dog. You ask, you know, players and coaches about Levante David, oh, that's a legend. That's a legend right there. But they don't have commercials. They're not on the NFL Network 24/7. They're not on ESPN where everyone's saying that's the number one linebacker and he's the best. And we got the best linebacking duel with Devin. And we're not on the networks like that. We're not out there like that. We don't get that publicity. And it don't faze Mike Evans one bit. And he got all the respect from living legends, and like Randy Moss. He got all the respect from current players and legends, respect in the league. That's what matters most. You think he cares about what fan bases say at top 5 wide receivers and no one ever mentions Mike Evans? You think Evans cares about that? You think that hurts his feelings? You think he cares that people don't put him in the top 5? Think he cares about that? When he got legends like Randy Moss, the best to ever do it, saying stuff about Mike Evans? Come on, man. You think he cares about that when people are like, oh, yeah, that's Hall of Famer right there. Easy. Easy. When legends talk about Levante, they don't care about that stuff. Who cares about the limelight? I'm building my resume over here. We won a championship over here. We getting love from the league over here. We got the respect from everybody over here. And he probably sees that and is like, you know what, man? Screw the media. Screw beat writers and what these people are saying about me. You know what? I found a family here. I found my people here. You know? I got Mike, I got Chris. You know what? I'm good with my people. They respect me. They think I'm good. They believe in me. You know what? I bought in. I'm here. I'm here. What do I got to do? I'm not going to throw it down the field and try to be the hero. I'm not. You know what? I'm going to buy into this system and I'm going to do what this system is asking me to do, and I'm going to do what Dave Canellis. I'm going to buy into him, and you tell me how to play quarterback. How do you want me to play quarterback? And Baker people are saying it, you know, his smarts is underrated. He's not a dummy. You hear him, the way he talks, when he talks about breaking down the defense and the different defenses that he's seeing and stuff like that, you realize real quick, hey, this guy's not a dummy. He sees things. And again, that's the reason why he's ahead of Kyle. That's why he won the starting job over Kyle Trask. I think Kyle Trask, you know, maybe sees the field better and has better arm talent. But you can't deny this guy's IQ. Pre-snap, he sees what the defense is trying to do. That's a big tool to have in the NFL. That's a very underrated tool. You look at the league now and you listen to these fan bases and these podcasters, what do they talk about? Oh, his arm is elite. He got a cannon for an arm. He got a rocket. And what about this part? This is the part that has you playing for 10 plus years as a quarterback in the league. This part. This is the part that kept Brady alive and kept Brady to be able to play as long as he did. That part. Understanding the game, understanding the defense, and he got it. I mean, again, and I'll be the first to admit it, I didn't think he had that. I never thought about him being smart as a quarterback at all. His attitude and all that stuff never even gave me the opportunity to even think maybe he's a smart quarterback. So it blows a lot of people's minds when they find out, yo, he's actually a pretty smart quarterback. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's seeing. Can he be tricked? Of course. Brady got tricked. Everybody gets tricked. It is what it is. Could he throw a bad pass? Of course. It happens. It's football. I said it when we had Jameis. I don't care about interceptions. As long as you don't throw an interception to take away points from us, or you throw an interception to give them points. Besides that, I don't care about interception. It happens. Just don't do a whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill the game. But I don't care. It happens. Whatever. This guy's smart. He seems like he's bought in. He seems like he threw away that chip on his shoulder, and he's not playing for that chip on his shoulder anymore. It seems like he's playing for the team now. It feels good. It sounds good. It feels good to me. He's describing things. He's saying what he needs to do. You know, take the easier throws that are there. I need to start taking the easier throws. Get the team in a faster rhythm by just taking some checkdowns or taking the easier throws. Don't try to get the first down on second down. Just take the easier throws. Stay ahead of the chains. It seems like he's understanding where the offense is struggling, where he can be better. I can't lie and say that I'm loving where we're at right now as an offense, as a team. I'm loving where Baker's mind is at, his mentality right now. I'm loving it. I can't lie. I'm loving it. And someone, I think it was Amazement, said he loves where we're at because of the bye week, and I agree with that. I feel like maybe that's what it was with Baker, him as well as the rest of the team. But again, I feel like the team already knew this, but maybe during the bye week, Baker sat down and watched the film and watched, how we've been looking, and sat there and realized, like, you know what, man, this defense is no joke. Watching tape, watching the games over again, my defense got my back. I throw an interception in the Eagles game, they get an interception right back for me. I throw an interception in the Saints game, they punch it out, get a fumble right back for me. This defense is no joke. I got a defense here. And then he's watching film on the offense, and he's like, Mike is always open. Low key, Chris Godwin is always open. Mike goes out before the first half is over, and Chris Godwin takes over. And I'm more than sure he looking at the tape and is like, low key, Devin Tompkins is open when Dave Canellis schemes up these players to get open. They're open. And he's probably thinking, like, forget balling out, dude. Like, why can't we be a problem in the NFL? Why can't we? I mean, it looks like we're the best team in the division. That's clear. So we're going to win. We should win the division. So once we get in the playoffs, who's stopping us? Think about that, guys. Who's stopping us? Right now, they got the 49ers, the Eagles, and then they got the Detroit Lions, who we're going to play Sunday. And it's like, you look at the tape, and again, people keep saying, oh, we lost to the Eagles. We're not on their level yet. I can't say that we're not on their level yet, because our defense went at their offense and was battling, even though our offense was giving up that game. But our offense versus their defense, we never got an opportunity to see it because of other things. So it's I don't know. It's just, you look at all these things and you're just like, why not us? I mean, shoot, why not just go and just win a Super Bowl with this team? Why not just make this my home? Like, what's stopping it? You know what? Let's not worry about nothing else. Let's just move forward. And let's just see where we go with this team. And I just love the space that I feel like he's in right now. Now, again, I doubt it, but maybe he's sick and it's putting him in this, I kind of don't want to give no energy. And maybe I'm mistaking that for what I think it is. I don't think so, but we'll see. Maybe we get another interview and I'm like, oh yeah, he's cocky again. Or he's back to thinking he's Big Bake, he's the best ever or whatever. Like, I'm not saying he ever thought that, but you get what I'm saying. Maybe I see another video and I'm thinking, okay, I misread him. He's back to being that, oh, I'm gonna show you Baker Mayfield. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it. And again, I hope not. But again, I can't lie and say that he's really, as a player, as a teammate, right now, he really got me win over. Like, I really hope the best for Bake. I really hope the best for Bake. As the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, I still feel like he limits the offense. But let's see if he gets better. Obviously, we're going to see if he gets better, right? So we're gonna see that whether we want to or not. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if he changed my mind. I wouldn't be mad if he took the offense to the heights where I'm like, okay, we're not limited with Baker. I wouldn't be mad about it. I really wouldn't be mad about it. And I guess I explained as best as I could how I feel about this. But it's like, don't worry about the limelight. Don't worry about the clout. Put your head down and be the best quarterback that you can be for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and this system. Be the best quarterback that you can be for Tampa Bay Buccaneers and this system. And all the stuff will follow. Everything that you want will come knocking. The commercials, the limelight, all that stuff will come knocking. And here's the thing. You deserve it. You accept it. That's fine. But you have to understand how to handle that. The way you handle it is the way you just handled success so far this year, which is what? Okay, we got a game. Focus, 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 focus. Bye week, you went over there, game day, college, and you win, and you were in the media, Awesome. Week over, come back, turn all that off, back to the team, back to the season, back on the grind, back in focus, and you don't turn it off until the season's over, and then you can go off and do the whatever again. And as long as we do that, we should be fine. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everybody who watches this, who is not watching this live, comment in the comment section, man. Let me know what you think about it. Shaman RTP, I'm gonna end the live stream, man. I'm tired again. I've been up since 1 a.m. So I'm dead tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I still gotta wait for my dad to get here. But I will see you guys next time I see you. I will not be on the what do you call it? Will not be in the NFC South roundtable tomorrow because I have some family situation to handle. My daughter's birthday. But I will be back next week with it. Also, again, I don't know about the highlight stuff. I loved it. I loved watching it and hearing the stuff, but they already took it down. YouTube already took it down, so we can't be putting up highlights. I should have known better. So I'll try to figure something else. We got the pick'em games, but I'm already tired. I'm not gonna go through the pick'em games, so we'll just wait for next week to pick them for week 7. Shaman RTP, Skull Gang in the building. I'll see you guys next time. I see you guys, and we're out. Deuce.